The Korean War is often remembered for its shifting front lines, massive offensives, and political consequences. But, one of its most overlooked lessons comes from a much quieter battlefield: survival against the environment itself. Harsh winters, rugged terrain, and unreliable supply lines created a daily struggle that could be as lethal as enemy fire. Soldiers who relied solely on issued equipment sometimes found themselves unprepared for freezing nights and snow-choked passes. What few histories emphasize is that survival frequently depended on ingenuity, foresight, and the careful use of practical tools, principles that extend far beyond the mid-20th century. Many of the solutions used in extreme conditions, including techniques carried forward by modern survivalists, echo strategies perfected by Roman legionaries nearly 2 millennia ago. So, hey, if you want to explore the intersection of historical insight and practical preparedness, go ahead and subscribe to Backyard Wisdom. Here, we take a close look at not just the tools themselves, but also the lessons they offer for enduring and thriving under pressure, whether that's during ancient campaigns or, in today's disaster scenarios. Roman legionaries, well, they carried a toolkit that was all about endurance, adaptability, and self-reliance. The soldier's pack included the dolabra, which was this really versatile pickaxe, capable of digging, chopping, and, if needed, even serving as a weapon in emergencies. Personal containers, were essential for cooking and water storage, while whetstones played a key role in maintaining blades and small implements. Hygiene items like the strigil actually helped prevent infection and disease, which, historically, claimed more lives than combat itself. Each tool was carefully selected for its multifunctionality, durability, and practical application in both predictable and, unpredictable situations. Modern preppers can learn from this approach. Carrying multifunctional, robust, and well-understood tools outweighs the appeal of specialized but fragile gadgets. The Roman emphasis on constructing secure camps each night demonstrates that survival depends on knowledge, not just possession of tools. Legionaries were trained to build fortifications that included trenches, palisades, and watch positions. These camps provided shelter, organized logistics, and facilitated hygiene practices, which in turn preserved combat effectiveness. The speed and consistency with which camps were erected reflect disciplined training and a culture of preparedness. For today's survivalists, the lesson is clear. Tools are valuable only when paired with knowledge, routine, and an understanding of the environment in which they're applied. A well-maintained toolkit without the skills to use it effectively offers only limited protection against disaster. Maintaining health and hygiene was, honestly, central to Roman survival strategies, and, it remains relevant even today. Legionaries used simple implements to clean their bodies, care for minor wounds, and of course maintain their gear. Disease and infection were, really common, and the discipline to manage hygiene, maintain blades, and care for clothing and armor was absolutely integral to survival. The broader principle applies to modern preppers as well. Small routine practices like cleaning, sharpening, and repairing can honestly dramatically extend endurance and functionality in austere conditions. Neglecting these basics, regardless of the quality of equipment, just increases vulnerability. The dolabra exemplifies how multifunctional tools maximize resilience while reducing logistical burden. This implement could serve as a spade, hatchet, and defensive weapon. For survivalists today, the lesson is that efficiency in tool selection is not about quantity, but adaptability. Multifunctional tools reduce weight, increase mobility, and ensure that critical capabilities are always within reach, even when supply lines or power sources fail. Water and fire management were considered as critical as armor and weapons. Legionaries carried containers for water, portable cooking equipment, and small implements for managing fire. provided warmth, enabled cooking and sterilization, and acted as a signal or even a deterrent. These capabilities were really embedded in routine practice, ensuring that soldiers were rarely, if ever, caught unprepared. Modern preppers can, well, apply the same principle. Water procurement, purification, fire building and cooking are foundational skills that, honestly, outlast any advanced technology or temporary convenience. Competence with basic tools often matters more than ownership of complex equipment. Standardization allowed legionaries to operate efficiently across varied environments and units. Soldiers trained with the same tools and techniques, creating a predictable framework for action that could be applied anywhere on the campaign map. For preppers, standardization translates into practice and familiarity. Routinely using your tools and, integrating them into consistent routines ensures readiness and adaptability. Knowledge and confidence in tool use often outweigh the apparent advantages of unfamiliar but specialized devices. Maintenance was, honestly, a constant concern and a key component of endurance. Every day, legionaries would spend time sharpening their blades, oiling metal parts, and repairing leather and cloth. These routine tasks, though they might seem tedious, were absolutely vital for their survival. If tools were neglected, they could fail at the worst possible moment. Sometimes, just one broken implement could put an entire group's survival at risk. Modern survivalists face exactly the same reality. Even the most well-designed tool, no matter how advanced, still needs regular attention and care. Longevity and reliability depend on understanding materials, routine care, and disciplined practice. Mobility shaped both the selection and effectiveness of Roman gear. Soldiers carried lightweight, multifunctional implements that allowed them to march long distances while remaining capable of building, defending, and cooking. This principle applies directly to modern preparedness. Tools must be chosen with consideration for both utility and portability. Carrying every conceivable implement creates fatigue and inefficiency, while thoughtful selection maximizes endurance and operational effectiveness. Roman survival strategies demonstrate the connection between tools, environment, and human endurance. Soldiers were trained not only to fight, but, to live in challenging terrain, manage supplies, and maintain health and morale. These practices reinforced one another. Discipline with tools supported resilience, which in turn, preserved operational capacity. Preppers today can draw the same conclusion. Tools alone are honestly insufficient. Understanding their proper application within an environmental and social context is really what enables sustained survival. The strategic lessons from Roman logistical practices, they actually extend to modern disaster preparedness. Each implement in a legionary's kit was chosen to meet both predictable and unforeseen needs. Digging, chopping, water collection, cooking, hygiene, and self-defense were all addressed through multifunctional portable tools. Modern preppers can adopt a similar mindset, evaluate likely scenarios, prioritize multifunctional solutions, and integrate the use of tools into daily routines. The combination of foresight, discipline, and well-maintained equipment creates a resilience that technology alone cannot provide. Understanding these ancient practices really emphasizes that survival is fundamentally practical rather than glamorous. While modern preppers may focus on electronics, gadgets, or complex kits, Roman history teaches us that simple, well-maintained, and versatile tools truly form the backbone of resilience. The legionary kit may appear modest by contemporary standards, but honestly, its principles endure: portability, multifunctionality, durability, and disciplined use. Studying these strategies offers insight into both human ingenuity and the structural approaches that allowed soldiers to endure extreme conditions for prolonged periods. If this exploration of Roman legionary tools and their relevance today resonates with you, go ahead and subscribe to Backyard Wisdom and share this video. By examining history through the lens of practical survival, we uncover lessons that remain relevant in the year 2026 and beyond. Understanding how ordinary soldiers endured extraordinary circumstances teaches us not only about the past, but honestly, also how to endure, adapt, and thrive in challenges we may face today.